Well, looks like it's time for another penny treasure hunt. You always like it when we give a little bit of breathing to those pennies that are just waiting to get out. Let's not wait any longer. Let's tear right into it. So, hi, this is Jeff, my alias being Silver Chupacabra, and we're here to see what we can fill here. We're also here to see if we can find any varieties that would also be outstanding treasure to find. Let's take a look at some of the holes that we're looking to fill today. This is the 1941 to 1974 book. You can see that side sleeve is already done, but we've got plenty of holes here just ready to get filled. But this is also, there are a lot less few holes in here than there was 2 hunts ago. Probably not going to be seeing these, but you never know, do you? The one book that is from 1941 down to 1909, of course, is a much more sparse and will take a lot more to fill. But last time out, we found a couple of century-old finds here. This 1818D was an awesome find from the last penny hunt. And then we've got the 1920 that we were able to fill. So, I'd like to see that get a fill or two as well. And, of course, looking for varieties as well. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the top of the box here. I've actually already looked at through the holes. It's got copper in there. It's got some doobies in there as well from the zinc variety. Let's open her up here and see if we can find anything on the other side of the enders. Okay, so now we're looking at the perspective from the other side of the box and the enders in there. And you can kind of see we definitely have some copper in here, that's for sure, and definitely have some zinc. But we definitely know that we at least have one Wheatie right there. Awesome. It's always cool to open up one of these and you at least know something's going to happen. Even if this whole box was full of nothing. Got one Wheatie. We're going to have to wait for that one. That's a full, that'll be roll 41 on this deal. But anyway, let's say we get started right here. Looks like that might be copper there. Get started on this one and get going. I'll be back when we have our first find. Okay, we are on to the 6th rolls. It's been a little bit dry so far, but at least we do have a find, and that's a good thing. Let's get down here and see if you can spot it before I say anything. Oh, that looks a little bit unusual. Yeah, I got those beads around the perimeter of the coin. Got ourselves a Canadian. Not really actually tell whether that's a younger portrait or an older one. God, I wish I would turn these things correctly. That is a 1998. A little scuzzy there on the back as well. Well, I've got this whole roll to go through. Let's see if we've got any other finds in roll 6. We're on roll 26. That's right. That's exactly what I said. Roll 26. This has been one of the drier boxes I have ever had in my lifetime, but does happen. So I've spread out the roll here, and as you can see, we do have the back or the reverse of a Wheatie right here. Definitely has some of that green gunk on it. Let's see what we got here. That is the 1951 Denver. Yeah, we'll come back if we find anything else in this roll, which would be definitely a nice thing. So we are on to roll 31. This box continues to be very desert-like. But we do have a wheat back on the second coin here. Let's find out what it is. It's pretty healthy there. It's probably 50s, but a girl can always hope. That would be 1953 out of Philadelphia. Cool. Let's see if we've got any other Wheaties left over in this roll. Be back if we find one. So this is roll 41. What could be the slowest box of all time. If you remember, at the very start, this was the one that actually had the Wheatie ender. There it is. And we're going to get a 57 Denver on that one. Still have the whole roll to look through. I'll be back if we find something. On to roll 44 of the box, and it continues to be quite lean. I did spy a certain coin here. On the outside, it does look like it's Canadian, but I'm going to definitely have to take a look at the portraiture, and I guess that is Canadian there. That would be a young portrait of Elizabeth on that one, so I'm expecting 70s and down, older in other words. It would be 1964 out of Canada. I've got plenty to look for on this roll. Let's see if we can get out of this dry stretch. So, on to the last roll of this box. We've got other words for it, but we'll just call it a box. Did have a Canadian at the end of this roll. Let's see what year. It's got that decagon. I believe that's what that is. I think these are the later 1990s, something to that effect. Once again, of course, I turned it the wrong way. 1993. Yeah, cool. Canadians tied the Wheaties today, 3-3. So there it is, the end of the box. Total of 3 Wheaties and 3 Canadian cents. Definitely one of the driest boxes I've actually ever searched through, but these things happen. It's interesting anyway. This box had lots of dates in the 60s. I think I might have seen about 6 to 7 1959s. And the rolls themselves, it's not like I was going through new coins. There were dates all over the place. Plenty of varieties to look for. It just didn't have any Wheaties in it. Definitely had some Canadian in there, which is nice. So I hate doing box hunts and leaving it off at this because, well, I do this. I do look through these for myself, but I look through these for the audience too. And it wasn't very special or interesting, I would say. So what I will probably be doing, I'm not going to promise it yet, but I'm going to have to go get me another box. So we'll make this a 2-box hunt when we continue on, hopefully. I'll let you know if that changes by coming back and saying it will change. Talk to you in a little bit. Okay. Silver Chupacabra here, Jeff. We're back here to extend the penny hunt that we had started a few days ago, where we only were able to get 3 Wheaties. We got 3 Canadians as well. And I thought we'd extend it out to see if we could make it a little bit more of an interesting hunt for not only you, but myself. This one happens to have the holes in it, and as you can kind of see throughout there, I can see shields. In other words, there's zinc in there. Even some of the memorial backs are zinky. But there's also copper in there too. So I think we've got at least a box to go. And I tell you what, it has not been easy. This is all, I got 3 penny boxes here in the last couple of days. And this is the only one that has circulated pennies. And it's not really going that much better for nickels, too. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks that's going to kind of get better in this area. Because it's a hassle sometimes to get those new ones back into the bank. So anyways, I've done a lot of traveling the past few days. So I would think, this will help out. You would hope this would be better than the last one. It couldn't be worse, could it? I'm going to turn this over. We'll check out the front to see if we've got any interesting enders. Okay, so I've got the top off. Kind of what we saw through the holes is kind of what we're seeing here too. I would say a lot of zinc, but there's some definite copper numbers going in here. I think that was from the 70s, the one I'm pointing to right there. There are no wheat enders here, so all the Wheaties we're going to find, all the bunch of them, because I said so, will be on the inside. And the only way we're really going to find out how many we're going to get is by getting moving on this. And we'll start off with number 1 here. Get back to you as soon as we've got an interesting find. Okay, so we are into the second box. And as you can see, we went through lots of rolls already. We are up to roll 15. And you know what? I was actually just checking just to make sure this was a different box. But as I unraveled roll 15 and did see something. Wasn't wheat back, but I could tell just by the size of the font right there. It looks like it's a 1942 out of Philly, but we'll bring her out here. And that is exactly what it is, 1942 out of Philly. Kind of a weird miscellaneous find here. Some people obviously have lots of times on their hands, so this is what somebody did to a 2821D. Nice. Don't do that, folks. Anyway, hopefully this is going to get this box going. I'll bring you back if we find anything else in this roll. Okay, roll 16 is up to bat. I don't want to jinx anything, but I believe we have our second wheat back in a row here. What will people start saying? Well, it sure does look like a wheat back to me. Straighten her out a little bit. Looks nice that way. Thinking 50s, maybe late 40s. 1955. When I'm checking for varieties, they will definitely be looking for double die, though I don't really see much going on there. I'll come back if we find anything else in this roll. So at the end of roll 16, we've got another wheatback. We've seen this one before, but it is a nice 1957D. Really nice shape. Kind of, well, it's more brown than anything else, but it does have a lot of red trying to work through there. But beautiful coin. By the way, the 1955, unfortunately, was not a double die. Wah, wah, wah. Continuing on. Roll 22 on the back end of it. You got a nice little Wheatie here. It's like a 1945D. Let's straighten her out and make sure that's the case. Yes, 1945 out of Denver. Continuing on. Okay, found this in the last roll 22. And I do check varieties, the ones that I'm going through these rolls. I do throw off some to the side and check them out. And I do believe we've got something here from this Van Gogh-esque Abraham Lincoln here. You'll see why I'm calling him Van Gogh here in a bit. Let's put this up. There is a double die obverse on here. Or there is a double die for 1972. There's actually lots of them. Let's go up to the microscope, and I think found one of them. Okay, so we've got these 1972 out of Philly under the scope. Do you remember on the outside, it looks like a nice red scent, MS quality, but you'll see it in a little bit. Fortunately, I don't even think this would actually get a grade out of it. Anyway. You can see there's doubling going on there at the U and the two T's. Definitely there. Let's bring down. There's a little bit on the E and the W there too with the doubling. It's not mad. Like I said, 72 has a lot of DDOs going on, but they see if I can get that into better clarity here. A little bit better there. There we go. And you can see some at the G, and I'll put markers in the on the recording here that'll be following this. Anyway. You can see some doubling in there as well. I'm not so sure on the Liberty. Other than the T, there's definitely doubling there. You can't even tell on the B because you got a little bit of mashness on the left side of the B. Take a look at his ear there. Let's see if we can get that focused on the screen. Half of it's actually gone. That's why I don't think it would actually grade. And even though there's a little bit going on with the upper inner part of the 2 there. Maybe a little bit on the 9. I looked at the Variety Vista, and there's one at the very end, number 10. And it doesn't have its official designation in PCGS, so I'm not even sure if they would even recognize this anyway. But it matches everything on Variety Vista. So anyway, I thought it was a pretty cool find. Let's go ahead and continue on with our hunt. On to roll 26, a little bit past the halfway point. I believe we've got the 5th wheat cent of this box, a total 1946 out of Philadelphia. We'll check back in with you if we find anything else in this roll. 32nd roll of our hunt, and I've got everything laid out. And let's be on the look for some wheat bags. Well, maybe a wheat bag. There's one shot. there's the other shot. Something like one of those 50s, 40s types of things. And we got a 1958 out of Denver, last year for the Wheatie. I'll check the rest of this roll, come bring you back if we get anything. I believe it's roll 33. And this will be the first Canadian coin from this box. As you can see right there. The nice beads around the perimeter of the card. But this one actually has the Goonie bird, or whatever the heck this is. This is always cool to find. It's, I'm not sure if that's considered a centennial coin or not. But anyway, you can see there's the portrait. It's the younger one. So I believe this is from, whoops, as usual. My Canadian coin turning is just horrible. 1967, I believe. Checking out the rest of the roll for more finds. Roll 34 is up to bat, and wow, all of a sudden, we've had a Canadian uprising here. We got one here. And we go down a little bit further, and we got one here. And this one is from 1985. And this one, not too bad, I remembered it at the end. It's from 1994. Cool beans. It's the dodecahedron, the 12-sided coin there. I'll bring you back in if I find anything more on this interesting roll. Roll 36 out of the hunt, and we've got a couple of cool little finds here. They'll be right smack up almost against each other right there. You got one there, and you have one here. Let's go ahead and pull these out. So what are we thinking? 50s, 40s, probably. In pretty good shape on the back, at least. This one is a 1944 Philadelphia. Nice. Really wasn't expecting the age on that. And then we've got a 1955 out of Denver. I already have a 55 out of Philly. Just need the San Francisco to come in to get the full slate for 55. As you can see, still have a few to look through. Bring you back if this roll decides to give up anything else. We are on roll 38, and I've started going through that roll. When I first noticed this, the wear pattern on it looked like it was going to be old, and it is. We got a 1948 San Francisco. Nice. Always cool to find San Francisco minute coins. We'll see if we have anything else in this roll. Roll 44 of our box hunts. And at the end of the row, looks like we've got a 1955 Denver. Let's go ahead and pull it out a little bit so we can see a little bit better. Yep. Looks like she's in pretty good condition too. That'll be the second one we've found in this box hunt. Now that makes, I believe, 10 Wheaties from this box, which is that's a pretty average, pretty decent number for a box. Much better than the 3 from the first box. So we are up to a total of 13 Wheaties now. We'll continue on. Okay, so we have finished the second box of the hunt, which definitely helped out after the first boxes. I'll just say low intensity. Anyway, let's go ahead and summarize our finds and check through the collection books to see if we were able to fill any holes or to upgrade any of the spots. Okay, so before I do get to summarizing the finds, There was a variety that I had found at about the middle of or what I was checking for a variety, I should say, in the middle of this last box here. And when you're looking at the year 2000, you're usually looking for a wide AM, and I do think we've got one here. If I can get her straightened out here. Now, first off, this penny's not in the greatest condition. May look red, but it isn't really the greatest example of anything. But as you can see, the A and the M are separated, and that's even a little bit more of a space than I would usually see there. I'm thinking that's a wide AM, but I could be mistaken on that. If it is, this would be the second one I found with the year 2000. I have not ever found anything with a 1998 or a 1999. So anyway, thought I'd show that to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at our coin finds. Okay. So here are the finds for these two boxes. Let's remember the first box. We got a whole 3 Wheaties in that first box. 3 Canadians to go along with that, which was kind of nice. Second box, definitely much better. I believe 10 Wheaties out of that, which is about average for most boxes. Got another 3 Canadians in that box, too. And got a couple of these we'll talk about in a bit. Anyway, we'll start off with the oldest of the bunch. Is 1942, Philadelphia. We've got a 1944 Philadelphia as well. 45 out of Denver. A 46 out of Philadelphia. A 48 San Francisco. I would hope that would actually fill a spot. Well, I hope everything fills a spot, but it's not going to. But anyway, 1951 out of Denver. A 53 Philadelphia. 55 Philadelphia. No, ladies and gentlemen, no double die. A couple of 55s out of Denver. A couple of 57s out of Denver. And a couple of 58s out of Denver. Canadian coin-wise, our oldest one was a 64. And we've got that centennial, I guess that's what we call it. The Canadian Centennial Penny, 1867 to 1967, so I would take it that's out of 1967. Love the bird on that, by the way. 1985 Canadian, 1993 and 1994 Canadian, the milky 1998 Canadian, and I guess that's all the Canadians. These are 2 that I think could definitely be varieties. The 72, it's got some markers there. It's not one of the more popular ones or the more expensive ones, that's for sure. But it's a nice coin anyway. It's in really nice condition. Other than we talked about it, the ear kind of being shaved off on the top. And then we've got a wide AM, I believe. For some reason, somebody wanted to do that to the coins. He did it on the back, too. I'm going to put it back in circulation, but I wish people would not necessarily do that. Anyway, that's enough of my mother talking today. There are our finds. Let's go ahead and go to the collection books. Okay, on to the collections, and that 1948S is going to be a filler. It will be the only filler and the only change in the primary collection, but it does fill a spot, which is very cool. Spots keep on disappearing on this one. The older one, of course, just kind of staying where it's staying. For the secondary, or the backup, I actually believe I filled out 3 spots. So let's go ahead and find them. Here's one of them. 1945 out of Denver fills a spot. 1953 will fill a spot. Philadelphia. You got the date down on there. And then this 1955 out of Philadelphia also fills a spot. By the way, was able to earlier actually fill out the last open one, the 1968 Denver. Got a lot of nice shiny examples there for the secondary, to be honest. All the way up until we're looking at wheatbacks. Same thing with the primary, too. So there's the two books. US-wise, kind of closed up the Canadian here. But I do have one that we're going to be able to spot fill in here. Thought I was going to have two, by the way, and I'll explain that in a little bit. The 1993 is a spot filler. 1985, I did have a penny from there. There are actually two versions in 1985. There's a blunt 5, which the top of the 5 is, blunt. There's also a more pointed version of the 5 in the 1985. And I did not have that one. That's still blank. But anyway, we did get some fillers in here. I'm glad I did fill out or add another box there. It made it a whole lot more interesting. So anyway, probably go to a nickel box next. I've got a couple of those ready to go. But I do appreciate you sticking with me on this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it. We'll get with you later. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Later.